Hi, my name is Melanie Kennelly, and today I will be teaching you how to solve a system of equations on the TI-84. Our objectives today, first we're going to just review how to solve a system of equation by hand, and then we'll learn how to use the TI-84 graphing calculator. This will be the problem that we're working with today. We're going to work with 3 variables, which requires 3 equations, and I have them labeled equation 1, 2, and 3 to help us keep track of where we're going. So our first step will be to take equation 1 and multiply it by a -1, which gives us that result. The next step, we're going to add the second equation to eliminate the x variable. So when we add those together, we create equation 4. You can see here now we've created equation 4, which has now knocked us down to 2 variables instead of 3. Now, step 3, we're going to multiply the first equation again, but this time by a -2. And that is our result. Now make sure when you multiply these equations that you don't forget the 4 over here. So make sure in that first one we needed to multiply by -1, but this one we're going to multiply 4 by -2, which gives us a -8. So a lot of times in systems of equations we forget to do the other side of the equal sign, which messes up the whole thing. So make sure to do that. Now we're going to add this result to the third equation, which has eliminated the x variable again, and we've created equation 5. So make sure that you multiply, when you start eliminating variables, that you do the same one both times. Once again, we are now down to 2 variables instead of 3, and we have the same variable y and z. All right, now we're switching gears and we're going to take equation 4 and 5 that we just created, and we're going to take the fourth one and create it by a -1, which results in that. And we're going to add it to the fifth equation to eliminate that y variable. When we add those together, the y variable disappears, and now we just have one single variable, z, which now we want to just solve for z, which results in, when we divide both sides by a -2, we get z equals 3. All right, now what we're going to do is take that 3, we just solved that z was 3, so we're going to substitute 3 in for z. So where there's a z, now we're going to put a 3 in to the equation, and -2 times 3 is -6. We're going to add 3 to both sides, which results in 3. So now we have -3y equals 3. Divide both sides by 3, and y, divide both sides, I'm sorry, by a -3, and y equals 1. Okay, now we have that z is 3 and y is -1, so we're going back to the original equations, and I just use equation 1. It does not matter which one. You can use 1, 2, or 3. And we're going to put a -1 in for y. We're going to put a 3 in for z. When we add those together, 3 and -1, it gives us 2. Now we'll subtract 2 from both sides to get x equals 2. And now we have our result. Our answer is x equals 2, y equals -1, and z equals 3. That's going to conclude our portion of reviewing how to solve by hand. And now that is part 1 of my video. I'm going to now create part 2, which will show us how to use the calculator. So keep going and tune in to part 2 to learn how to use the calculator.